What's up, and good to see you. Manic Monday edition of the fastest freaking show in MLB. Absolutely anywhere with your homeboy. Big Johnny Stud coming to you worldwide. Brooklyn, New York, as always. Coming out the damn chair as always. Follow me up on Twitter at John the Gazer Flow. Sharper than a razor. Same handle over on Substack, where $2 a week makes all your dreams come true. 5 pounds of shit in a 2-pound box. Find out what all the fucking hubbub is about, yo. Burning the candle on both ends, NFL and MLB. Fresh NFL update yesterday, make no mistake, I am very much involved in the NFL sphere right now. I'm drafting around the clock. I have the Fantasy Football Weekly show with my guy Jake Trowbridge on iHeartRadio. So yeah, ear to the ground. I'm feeling almost unusually confident about this. We'll get into the fantasy football stuff when we'll get a little bit closer. You can also check out the same YouTube channel under the videos tab. There's a whole bunch of live drafts. I did a couple of early round reviews. I'm going to keep hacking away at that tree again as we get a little bit closer. Enough of that bullshit, right? We need more of this, yo. Best part of waking up. Pitching sheets in the mug. We got, what, 10? Is it 10 games today? Was it 13 games today? What do we got today? We got 13 today. They're all at night, so it's like a mostly full slate, digging that. It's all at nighttime, digging that. Quick pop in the comments before we, rip this bitch and just take off. Good to see everybody, yo. Jam Bam, B Rose up in the piece, USMC, good to see you. BE, you damn thief. Adonis in the bitch. Lloyd is up in here. Josh, good to see everybody, yo. Nice and early. Tyler Markham and Trent. Damn, yo, we're gonna fucking crush fucking football, yo.
Spartans! What is your profession?
Yeah, I'm stoked, man. All right. Remember, if you sign up for the Substack, the NFL data is up. I had to put a new link, so you just got to ask me for access, and I'll get it to you. Maybe I don't do a good enough job promoting it. If you're doing your fantasy research, it's awesome. Think of the baseball sheets, but for football, going to be doing weekly projections, optimals, and all that good stuff. All right. This time, enough of that. Garrett Cole on the bump for the New York Yankees. Bad guys on the road in Detroit Rock City to face Framber Valdez and the Tigres down in 8 Mile, 113 for the home team. As a dog, Cole's been awesome, right? Hit the ground running, everything you could ask for. 257/1 ERA whip combo. And I think for everything we've seen, it's only going to get better. The swing and strike, I think, will come along, of course. Again, you're getting the elite control. That was the number one thing that I always want to see. Well, Velo is good. Control and command is good. I think the rest will get there. Cole doing Cole things, kind of pitching up in the zone, but he's really good at inducing pop-ups, which is why all the hard hit rates are so low. Oh, Cole, just kind of shoving, basically. Framber Valdez, man, huge letdown this season, and I know it's not the only reason. Quick shout out. My guy, Justin Mason, before the season was talking about how, right, Framber's pitch to contact, heavy ground ball profile would not play as well in Detroit, where the defense is significantly worse. And now, that doesn't always manifest in errors, right? A guy could take a bad beat. It's not an error. A shortstop doesn't make a good play. It might not be an error. Now, from what I understand, McGonagall's pretty good, but the rest of that, the defense is yuck. And maybe that's hurt Framber. 287 BABIP is not crazy. But again, the zone contact, up to 93, swing and strike down below 9. Through 84 innings, this is pretty much maybe what you're going to get. Now, he's kept the ball in the yard. That's always something he's going to do. But he's been especially bad at home, and the wind is blowing out in Detroit today. Last 30 days, not much better. Kind of hard to back Valdez. Yankees even without Judge have hit. They've even hit lefties. Paul Goldschmidt. Fucking. Oh, yes. Jeez, like the ultimate resurrection, Yankees have handled their biz against lefties. And again, I don't really trust Valdez. And I don't love the bullpen. Did they have the emoji? No, they didn't have the emoji. I think Kenley might have pitched 2 days in a row, so he won't be available. Model's got the Yanks for a pretty clean win. You can see that up on the board. Right now, Minus 136 feels entirely too light for Garrett Cole. That number hasn't changed, though. I didn't scrape these last night. I scraped these this morning. I was a little behind with the Father's Day stuff, by the way. Man, that show Saturday was a fucking load, right? Anyway. Yeah, Cole at minus 135. Well, I say let's not overthink this one. Even if Framber is okay. Like, if Framber was the best version of himself, I think this could be minus 135 plus 113. Like, I get it's no Judge. But yeah, it feels a little lopsided. I guess the Tigers' last 2 weeks have been a little bit better than I was kind of implying with the way I was spinning this. But I don't love it. I don't love it. They strike out. They're a little too patient. Again, the low swing rates, I think, come back to haunt you against a guy that has a 31% ball rate. You know, Cole is filling the zone. You really don't want. You want to go the opposite way. Cole, you want to try and get that fucking first pitch four-seamer and see if you could fucking take him out. Then get him rattled and force him in. That's, a lot of times that's how you beat a lot of aces. Anyway. Next up, Michael Waka Flocka on the bump for the Royals with cheese. Oh my gosh. If you could lose a bet so badly that like you should have to pay more, that was yesterday's. Holy crap. I thought Kolak would be good, Well, on the base, listen, everything checks out, Guys are gonna have blow ups. I was worried that this just was not the guy. I was thinking, arguing internally with the model, but also the totals were so high in that game that holy crap, that was fucking absolutely bananas, man. Well, what can you do? Yeah, you just play the fucking horn and move on. Again, it's only a loss, right? The absolute blowout loss counts the same against your record as the heartbreaking loss with the good cap. So that's part of it. You just got to let it flow. You got to let it be. Let it go. Again, when the pressure builds up on the valve, lets him out healthily and move about your business. You know what I mean? It's okay to be upset. You know what I mean? That's like a thing. Waka Flocka's on the bump as a very heavy 163 underdog on the road against Drew Rasmussen, who's been insanely good, and the Flat fucking Fish of Florida. They're minus 200. They have the bullpen emoji. Baker 2 of 3, Kelly 2 of 3, Clevenger 2 of 3. Well, the pitch counts are okay. That's why I list it. You could see him if you need him. Total's really low at 4 and 7.5. I think that's where the model is leaning, given the price on Tampa. Though I do think Tampa wins. I'm a little bit worried about the cover, right? Walker's been decent. Let's go back to the beginning. 364, 117. ERA whip combo for Walker is pretty good. Even if the indicators are, a half a run worse, it's still not terrible. Again, elite command control. He gets ahead, does not offer free passes. And then, he does old man things. Funny, the reason I'm not really into Walker is because he pitches up in the zone. I like to have these kind of lower velo, less put away guys work lower in the zone to get more ground balls, but it seems to work. Again, when you have elite command and control, now this is a incoming fucking message. Right, you're not going to get this with the filter queen. That's over there. Not all fly balls are created equal. So like right off the bat, when someone's like, "Oh, all the fly balls," you got to what kind of fly balls, right? What kind of fly balls? We're like an onion around here when you peel the fucking layers. What is it? Ogres are we're like onions. Baseball spreadsheets are like onions, and ogres apparently. Oh, I love that. My spreadsheet is the fucking ogre in the fucking forest, man. But it's the truth. So, and there's a reason why Walker is able to succeed and why I'm willing to buy into it, even though he is still kind of low velo, not great stuff. Working the four-seamer up in the zone, because the command and control is so good, that high pitch ends up at the brim or above, which is why he has such an insanely high infield fly rate, where those count as fly balls, but they also have zero batting average and no chance of getting out. So unless you're looking at a pitcher, right, what kind of fly ball? So it's not Walker works up, but he's extremely effective at working up using the elite, pinpoint command to get the shit to the brim. Because that's a four-seamer, not at the brim, but at the fucking chinny chin chins here. 6 fucking row, you're out. Know what I mean? My beef is the Rays offense. Like, aren't they ass? The Rays offense is ass. The Royals are absolutely humming right now. I don't want to do another message, but we've talked about this ad nauseum. Me, obviously, being very transparent. I like to talk about my own flaws because I think it's very helpful for newer players and newer bettors. And this has been an issue. I call it defaulting to the favorite, and we think they're going to win. Like, yeah, I think they're going to win. So you default to the favorite and pay a fucking tax when you know there are obvious warts, right? The obvious warts here is the Royals are fucking humming, and they said they might even get Bobby Witt back. So, of course, Bobby Witt is a very impactful player. One of the few people that might move a needle. Regardless, they've been incredible. So you got to be careful of the super hot offense seeing the ball well, and you're looking to shut them down knowing the offense behind you is such ass, right, that even if you go down a run or two, you might be out, like the gout. Now, the Royals bullpen has been terrible. If you're backing the Rays, you're going to have hope throughout. But this one a little bit on the misprice, and I don't know if I expect Rasmussen to necessarily get racked here. But I'm starting to feel okay about, them pitching in to get us to the 7.5. I wonder if there might even be a healthy 7 out there. There might be a healthy 7 out there because I'm seeing an 7.5, and that's at straight up even money. The 07 is minus 145. That's like a little rich for me as a nefarious fucking cheapskate. But that would be my play, is getting a little bit cute and going to the over rather than playing for the run line cover. Tampa minus 1.5 is plus 118. I do kind of like the price. I do kind of like the price. So it doesn't necessarily fit into the bin I was trying to fit it with. And then you definitely don't want that. But I still think I like the over better than I like the run line. Because, again, Rasmussen could just come out and give up 2 in the first. And now, all of a sudden, you totally wish you didn't bet for the run line. Next up, Kumar Rock and Roller on the bump for the Texas Rangers. They're on the road, 105 dogs, down in Miami to face Tyler Phillips and the mighty Marlins of Miami. Alliteration aside, we got 2 bullpen emojis. In a game listed at 4.5 and 8.5, with 2 pitchers that make me a little bit concerned. And I was surprised to see this total here. Not to mention the 8.5 is minus 105. So the market firmly in disagreement with us. Let's dive on in. Let's go to videotape. Rocker's not been good. He's got a 4.17 ERA, and I'm not even sure that's deserved. Don't believe me? Look at the indicators. Not a single one below 4.6. Also, the whip at 1.4, which is atrocious. Single-digit KBB, sub 24 CSW. Ball rate over 39. First strike rate at 52. Zone contact 91. You could quite literally, right? You could not put together a worse disciplinary approach. You're wild, you walk hitters, you can't get called stuff over, you don't get ahead, you're always behind, and then you pitch the fucking contact. Legit, when Rocker was coming up, I don't want to derail because we have a lot of work to do, but I want to make sure I'm not getting fucking Mandela affected right now. Wasn't Rocker like a huge strikeout fucking guy? Former 3rd overall pick, I remember that. The manure. I remember. And it was true. This guy was putting up 40% K rates with 4% walk rates. Just crazy shit. Now, he reined in the walk rate as he ascended through the minors, but the K rate never re-elevated. Then the walk rate doubled from the 4 to the 8, which is still, viable, but the K rate has dropped from the mid to low 20s in the upper levels of the minors all the way down to the high 20s in the pros, and that fucking dog don't hunt right now. Can't believe it, man. He does an okay job keeping it down, but there's a lot of pulled, hard hit balls. And there's just not a lot to like with Rocker. 5.25 ERA last 30, 4.5 ERA in the road this year, 5.25 expected ERA last 30, single-digit KBB. It's fucking whack. Now, the thing with Phillips, the only thing I could find with Phillips, right, he's been a little bit lucky. Crazy left-on-base rate is carrying the ERA. We do like the CSW. 30 CSW is a benchmark for anybody. But there's really not much here. The thing that I got, which surprised me, he is crazy good at home. This guy's a .83 ERA at home, and that's the total innings, not just the starter innings. he's unhittable in the crib. He's absolutely unhittable. Maybe he's got like a smoking hot wife who's laying it down on him before he gets on the bump. But man, who the hell knows? Damn, the comment section filling up. Sometimes I got to check it out to make sure I'm not talking to a mute here. Jeff L says more than Unk. And remember, around here, Unk is uncle. It's not uncool. Yo, Emil, what's going on? I respect you. Can't bet anything without the mastermind. Read on the slate. Really appreciate that. Goldie is a lefty killer. There are no words for what the only. I mean, I'm going to date myself a little bit. The only thing that the Goldschmidt thing reminds me of, and I'm almost positive this is going to fucking bear out in the fucking stats. In fact, gives me a good idea. If I was more popular on Twitter, this would be viral. When Albert Pujols was back in St. Louis, people were saying that he was using juice balls for him or whatever. I'm not saying that. He went fucking bananas, and it was like one of the great lefty killing seasons, and Goldschmidt is doing the same thing. Like, if you were betting on Goldschmidt, two total bases every game against a fucking lefty, you're fucking rich right now. So I appreciate everybody. Carolina Daddy, good to see you. Good collector also. Wants to know if Wiz Jr. is playing. I'm not so sure. Trevor, agreed. We'll see. Man, love the participation up in the chat. Matters more than it should. Press the cartoon finger because that shit matters again more than it should. So, Phillips, unless you really believe in the hot wife pancake theory, Phillips is probably due some negative regression. Again, I was really surprised with the total here. Now, I guess the bare signals are for the offenses. Rangers have been kind of whack versus righties last 2 weeks, so is the Marlins. But again, for like the bit of blue, right, and it is bluish, it's not rock blue, right? It's not iceberg blue. And where it's not blue, we like batting average, doubles, strikeout. Why? Because of hard hit and pulled balls. So, like, this is not atrocious. And then also Wyatt Langford right now, my guy coming into the season. I was so high on Wyatt Langford. He had the great, it wasn't because of the great spring. I was already high on Langford. This guy's constantly hurt. He's back and raking. Yo, I legit believe he's one of the best hitters in the league and can carry the fucking offense. So I loved when you get the rising tide lifting all ships. Now I'm feeling like, could we be getting Seager back today also? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. No, today's 10, so it won't be today. Quick check on the last 7, looking to confirm some biases. And again, they both hit a little bit. You know, both have a 108 WRC plus the last 7. The Texas was the bullpen I trusted. They've been bad. Marlins, for whatever reason, when Pete Fairbanks is in the lineup, right? I mean, and again, capital C closer, very fucking good. But there's something to this. Again, when a theory comes up over and over and over, right? It should get our attention. And I don't want to say it's impossible to test. I'm not going to. It's too much work. I don't have the means or the time. But then it came up on the Source Network with Toast. Sammy is very good with bullpens, of course. Make sure you're following Kyle and Sam and TV and Spoon and that whole crew, man. Jacob, just the whole fucking crew. Straight Edge Bets, the whole fucking crew. They're all fucking sharp. Kyle gets my, my stamp of approval. But one thing that we've been talking about was, it's not like not intuitive. It's a little intuitive, but not totally. That when you reinstall, particularly a good closer, like a real legit closer, that kind of click, 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 that kind of shift down the board in the rolls, it like fucking turbocharges, force multiplies the entire fucking thing, and it just completely takes off. We saw it happen in Houston. Legit one of the worst bullpens in the league. You could pick on them every fucking day. They get Hader back, and then all of a sudden they're great. So what are you telling me? All of a sudden 6 other guys are pitching well? Same thing happened in Miami. And Fairbanks has done the up and down more than once, and it's happened more than once. So just worth keeping an eye on. Oh, yo, my boy, up in a piece. Good to see you, kiddo. Appreciate you. The thighs that don't lie, yo. That is like the crew. Seriously, the source, whatever the thing that Kyle is fucking doing, it's fucking special. It really is. It's something special. I'm very proud to be a part of it, and not to be too high on myself, but like if you're bringing me in, like, you're obviously up to some funky shit. You know what I'm saying, right? It's not fair. Nothing without being fucking arrogant. Okay, back into the game and talking about betting on baseball, which is the thing we're here for. Yeah, Trev is the man. CD, love you too, kiddo. The bullpen stuff here might tell us to get away from it. I want to invoke, right? Let's invoke some Source Network stuff here. This is a perfect example, a legit, the case in point example of a game that I might have said, I think I'm going to go over on the F5. No, we're going to go over on the fucking full game. I'm going to put 8.5, but I got to really encourage everybody to price shop, or to be honest, yo, part of me wants to fucking trail. Part of me wants to fucking tempt the market and trail, meaning we're so far off the total. Yo, again, there are some times when there's a level of fucking symbiosis and we become simpatico. You know what I'm saying? Like, and yo, USMC, you just really touched me somewhere special.
This is Sparta!
Word the fuck up. He put, I want this total to go to 8 so I can smash the over. And that's what I was going to get at. Just a quick lesson, right? So generally, we want to respect CLV. Obviously, again, I know I'm fucking smart. I know you're smart. We want to fucking just respect it. However, baseball is not fucking NFL, okay? At all. It's not NFL. Going up against CLV 9 hours after it's been posted in the fucking morning, or even, 15 hours closer to first pitch, is completely different than going up against an NFL fucking side on Sunday morning. Let's even say I'm willing to fade this one all the way up to fucking first pitch to get that fucking 8. I want that fucking 8. It's a fucking matter of principle. Again, both of these bullpens are taxed also, and one of them is bananas. In fact, this is the first time all year this has happened. Look at the Miami report. So Texas, it's not terrible. Lat's 2 of 3, Junis 2 of 3, Gray back-to-back, and 3 of 4. Junis is through 46 pitches. You might not see him, maybe you will. Again, they're not. I just like to have it out there when 2 of the top 3 or the 2 top guys are out there. Now, look at the Miami. Okay, I can scroll up. I want to make sure I get over my fat head. Fairbanks 2 of 3, Fauché 2 of 3, Bender 2 of 3, King 2 of 3, Peterson 2 of 3, Bashar 2 of 3, got the save who opened the other day, Kate Gibson 2 of 3, and Tyler Zuber 2 of 3. No matter where Miami has to go, there is a workload concern. So I know I spent like entirely too much time. Again, I got rid of the timer because I was only 13 games and this show's going to go fucking an hour and a half. All right, I'm going to clean it up right after this. But I think we're going to bet this. We want to go over. I'm willing to challenge the CFB to get the fucking 9 million words or less. Let's fucking move on, man. See what happens when you fuckers get me all sentimental. I'll sit and bullshit with you all fucking day. Next up, Fighting Phils. I think they're debuting Alan Rangel. Although I'm sorry, lying to you. He pitched on my birthday in a debut, April 22nd. 3 innings, sent back down. Now he's back. He's been okay, but I definitely saw stuff in the profile that, worried me a little bit. You know how we feel about these debuts. Let me just get a quick look at Rangel. 28 years old, right? So kind of the late bloom. He pitched 11 innings in the bigs last year, and again, he wasn't great. He walks way too many hitters, which seems to always... That worries me a little bit. Guys that have good control, and it gets worse as they ascend. I want to see them command it in the upper levels. Also, as he hit the upper levels, home runs became an issue. Those are the 2 things I worry about the most with young guys. So even if you like Rangel, I think you got to worry about... Oh, let me just confirm. Pitching in Washington with the wind blowing out. Right, we know Washington is hit, so that's like an issue right off the bat. And then he's got the winged lion, Foster Griffin, minus 115 for the Nats. I know the Phillies have hit lately. I get it. But I still think I like the Nats here. I think the price is a little bit off for the debut. I think also, if we're saying it that way, there's probably a case to be made for the over. Right, Griffin's pitched well. I'm okay backing him. Command, control. There's going to be some regression with the left on base stuff. But the homer to fly ball rate at 17.5, for me, he's been fucking summarily punished already. So I think those 2 might cancel out. He's been very good the last 30 days. And we never have a problem backing the Nats offense, even though they've just been like okay lately. Though this is funny, right? 88 zone contact, 27 line drive, 368 xCon. Is it downswing? The Nats offense is legit. why I'm telling you this happens all the time. There's a couple pitchers that, and Griffin is one of my. I can't get the lefty righty stuff correct. So I forgot that Griffin was a lefty. I didn't get anything wrong yet. I kind of caught myself, but I don't know why that is. Like as if I don't watch enough of this shit. Okay, Phillies versus lefties has been kind of brutal, though again, Schwarber and Harper are hitting, and they're lefties that can hit lefties, so I'm more into like Phillies are hitting right now. I don't know if it's going to be enough. Phillies bullpen, definitely the much better one, so I think if you were buying the bullshit, I was just slinging you. I mean, I've got Washington for a clean win, but you could see, man, you would think that window would tighten later on, and it doesn't. A little unusual. Maybe that's the favorite ninth inning, but it's really too close to be too heavy. Has the Nats bullpen like pitched well lately? Am I missing something? No, they've been terrible. So I'm not buying the full game stuff. I'd much rather be on the F5 for the Nats. Just looking to jump on the rook. Or maybe he doesn't, he might not go 5 innings, right? That's always kind of a thing also. I'd like the F5. The F5 is not going to be posted yet. So, all right, I'm spending way too much time on this shit. Next up, Hunter Brown is back. Let's fucking go, baby. But it's a debut, but he's also an underdog, but he's on the road. Shit. And he's facing the Blue Jays. But they've got Dylan Cease. He's minus 123. I'm like, oh, fuck. I have no idea. If this one was being played, and I want to call it a neutral situation, meaning, Brown wasn't on the debut, I'd be under the fucking 7.5. And in fact, we posted an hour ago, and usually, when the model is that far under a total, you can almost bet your fucking anus. I was going to say you bet your left anus. You bet your left anus that it's going to come down. Now, the 7.5 hasn't moved yet, but it is minus 120. So to what USMC was saying before, what I was mentioning before, you use those prices, right? That's your leading indicator. That minus 120 is as far as she blows, so it's going to move to 7. Bet your ass this one is going down. Down, down, down. Red Knight's going down. Plus, you get the favorite at home, and you get the... you might not get that bottom 9. We mentioned Houston's bullpen has been fantastic. I tend to think Brown is going to be good, but if you've been following my work long enough, I've got welts on my ass from chasing debuts. It's why again, when I try and teach you something, it's because I fucked it up. You know what I mean? It's not like I was born knowing things. I'm a fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? After, the Testador, after fucking 12 shots to the fucking thick cranium, sometimes lessons fucking stick. But I've also noticed when guys are excellent, sometimes I'm willing to buy it. Am I just a fucking straight up idiot? Did he debut already? He did. I'm a fucking loser. Gosh, did the chap blow up at me? Hold on, I gotta take. Hold on. When it's deserved, it's deserved. How the hell did I miss Hunter Brown's pitching debut? Listen. Fucked it up. You know what I'm saying? Fucked it up. Sorry. I can't believe it. And it's funny, though, I'm gonna make a good point in hindsight that I wasn't smart enough to know was a good point in hindsight. And the point was going to be this. Hopefully we could take something good out of that total fucking disgraceful, embarrassing flop. And it was a couple things about the debuts, right? So yes, we don't like debuts. When are we willing to make exceptions? Okay. One, elite pitcher. So I think kind of that's number one, arm talent. But number two, also, successful and extensive rehab. Right? So not even, we went 4 innings and struck out 8 guys. Not enough. Brown did just that. So this, again, would have been one I was buying, and he was pretty good. I think he walked more guys than we expect. That was also to be expected in debuts. But you like to see that he went 4 1/3, gave up 1, struck out 4. They brought him back. He faced 21 batters, completed 5, gave up 1, struck out 7. Love that. Gets promoted, 5 2/3. Yeah, 3 walks, which isn't good, but he did have 7 Ks. He threw 92 pitches also. So it's fucking wheels up for Brown, and you can go under this one. I'm under the 7.5. Sorry, I didn't mean to take you on Mr. Toad's wild ride. But when I think it might lead to a play It will. Yeah, I'm fine with this because you love the pens. You love all the arm strength. If Brown is going to throw 95 or 100 pitches, he could go fucking 7. Toronto offense really hasn't been great. Cease has been fucking fantastic. So I'm loving that. The only hang up here again is the price and the timing because if you don't hurry up, it's going to go to 7. Next up, Shota Imanaga. He's on the bump for the Baby Bears. They're on the road as slight favorites down in Queens to face Kodai Senga and the Let's Go Mets Go, wind blowing out at Citi Field. Was surprised to see this. So, Model likes the Cubs, but hardly enough to even cover the minus 122. The play I've got has got to be with scoring. I think to me, this one feels like a clear over. Right? When we've had wind with these big fly ball pitchers, that's when they get crushed. And, I love Shota. And I think he's a very good pitcher. But, right? But. Hold up. Wait a minute. 45 fly ball, 47 pull, 10.5 barrel in the wind is going to F you in the A. Like, bottom line. Now, granted, everything else we love. It's command control. He gets a ton of swing and miss. Nearly 15 swing and strike for Shota this year. Sub 35 ball. He's been awesome. But that's going to be a problem. Especially in Chicago. I know we're not there today. But wind blowing out to the outfield. And if I'm not mistaken, the Mets have fucking hit lefties for power. This is a very bad matchup for Shota. Mets batting .270. Off lefties last 30 days, 240 plate appearances, right? Really great chase rate, which you're going to need. Not a lot of swing and miss, which you're going to need. But then capitalizing with the hard hit balls, 350 xWOBA, nearly 430 xCon. Got to be careful with that Shota back in today. I think he's in trouble. And then Senga is just riding the damn struggle bus as is. Now, I'm not going to make the same mistake again in tracking his return. Am I slipping? Okay, so I knew he made the debut, but I didn't know if he made the second debut. So he didn't. So Shota would have been one of the debuts that you're maybe a little bit worried about, right? Didn't necessarily have he's not necessarily the same kind of arm talent as somebody like Hunter Brown, of course. His rehab was significantly messier. Walking multiple guys, 3 earned. And he went out and was not good in his, re-debut. Went 4, gave up 4, 2 bombs, walked 4, struck out 5. That was at Cincinnati. But now that's also an optimal kind of hitting environment. So when you're putting certain pitchers archetypically are not going to be good. In these spots. I don't want to even rate the fucking disciplinary stuff. We know the walks can be an issue, but we know the fucking fork is gross. The issue is all the fly balls and the potential for fucking home runs. So I think I'm outie here. Cubs versus righties last 2 weeks has definitely been a weak point. But the matchup I think is still good for the Cubs. Why? Because all the disciplinary stuff is so firmly in check. Right? They're being passive. They're not chasing and taking walks. If you just legit don't swing at anything Coda throws, fucking, my gosh, man. What the fuck? And oh my God, you heard my phone just rang in the background. Oh my gosh, holy moly, what are we doing? What are we doing? God, you get thrown off of fucking YouTube from what I understand for that shit. So I think the Cubs still line up good. And if you're into the L7 stuff, they're insane last 7. But yeah, were they playing in Colorado? Whatever, because of shit. I'm not crazy into L7 no matter what. Cubs bullpen's been ass. So to me, there's a million reasons to jump on the scoring here. Again, I promise. Anytime there's more than 8 games, I'm going to go back to using the fucking timer. I have completely spun off the fucking rails today. All right, so we're going to go Cubs, Mets to the over again. I'm just really surprised. I just don't, there's some of these I don't really get. Okay, next up. part of the reason I was running late today is I got a lot of these fucking issues where you have to you can't blanket model. Sheriff Woody, Brandon Woodruff, he's back. He's on the bump for the Brew Crew. They're heavy favorites on the road in Cincinnati against Brady, the wedding singer. All right, let's bring up the Woodruff fucking stuff. Right, if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. I'm not going to say you have to apply this very specific thing here, but not there. Woodruff, one thing you can say, anytime he's out there, God, he's fucking awesome. He is so awesome. Now, he made what? He figured half a dozen starts. He had one blow up early at Fenway, but he's basically incredible. Right up until he got hurt. Let's check the rehab. We like ye. Not great, but we like ye. Right, he went 3 2/3, a little messy, gave up 3, but then he went 5 1/3. I love anytime they go out, they bring him out for the 6th. To me, that's an implication right there. The implication. Oh, that's another good Sonny reference. Wait. What do you mean, the implication? The implication? You're not gonna hurt them, are you? No, of course not. I'm not gonna hurt them. But they couldn't stop you if you wanted to. And you're like, oh my God. Again, if you haven't watched, if you like this show, you probably think Sunny in Philadelphia is the funniest shit ever. And if you have not watched that show, you could fucking thank me. It's one of those things. Again, like the first season might be, they're figuring shit out. It's still funny, but then they hit like a fucking 6-year run of some of the funniest shit, if not the funniest shit going. So again, Woodruff, I think we might expect Woodruff to be good, but wind blowing out in Cincinnati, that's a fucking major problem. I'm not looking to pay 163 for anybody. Plus, we know Singer has been terrible. I don't know. Model is still on the under, kind of buying enough of the Woodruff stuff. Ignore the model on this one. Just don't do this. Don't bet this one. I mean, I know I have. Maybe I didn't double rack here. I feel like there's one. I'm up at 5 1/4 and just under 8. And I know Singer is ass. And then the model just buying the Woodruff stuff. That I'm not. And yeah, just punishing the Reds for being bad. And the Brewers were awesome for like a second, right? It was like a hot second. I feel like they might have also been in one of these crazy environments. You got to really I got to try and keep better track of that. Because it matters. I made that mistake on Source Network. I was like, quoting something like, dude, there was 4 games in Sacramento and 5 games in fucking Colorado. And I'm like, touche. Point conceded. So I think again, I'm just behind. This is where things get fucked. When you have to start fucking with your model to account for playing on the moon and crazy fucking weather, and then the combination of those two things, again, I'm very honest of it. That's where I don't want to say you're guessing, right? I don't mean to say you're guessing. We know ballpark have effects. We know wind has effects, but again, once you're, arbitrarily, because that's a fact, we don't know what this wind, how it will affect. You're taking a little bit of a risk. So I'd rather just avoid this one. Maybe you get away with a little bit of offense, looking for Milwaukee bats to do work, I think is your safest place, right? Attack the Reds bullpen and attack Brady fucking Singer. Next up, Eric Lauer on the bump for the Dodgers. How the fuck is Eric Lauer a minus 157 favorite to anybody? I don't give a shit. But there's going to be somebody out there paying for the Dodgers fucking run line. This is the easiest bad chalk in the fucking world today. Now, I don't know if I could grab up the fucking C.O. Jones to bet the Twins to fucking win because the bullpen's such a disaster. And we know the Dodgers' pen is good. Plus, the Twins also have the fucking emoji today. Yuendris Gomez back-to-back. Now, the pitch count is low, but I don't know if he's going to come out 3rd day in a row. Banda back-to-back. Pitch count is low. I don't know if he'll come back. And then Cody Lawyer's son, never heard of him before, went 3 or 4. But the guys at the top of an already bad bullpen, these are guys that you'd be looking to attack on the 3rd day. So I'd be away from the Minnesota win. I brought up the bullpen just really quick. 7.36 ERA for the Twins bullpen last 41 innings. How do you have a 41 inning stretch of a 7 1/4 ERA? It's ridiculous. 1.7 whip, 13% walker. That's how you do it. More than a 2.2 homer 9 rate. Just the absolute stone cold worst. But I'm buying back in on my boy Zebby Matthews. I know. Well, one, I think Lauer is not very good. He was bitching and moaning about how he should be a fucking starter. Well, someone should tell me he's a 5.37 ERA and a 5.35 expected and a 5.15 Sierra and a 7.5 KBB and a 7.5 swing strike and a sub 23 CSW. Dude, go fuck yourself. How about that? How does that sound? He's going to give any pitcher is going to give you a chance to win with the Dodgers, but he should not be minus 155. Zebby Matthews is a 4.78 ERA, and I think that's what's driving a lot of the craziness here, aside from the bad team bias, the fucking jersey bias here. What, not the state, but the clothing. 118 whip for Matthews is very good. 381 expected ERA. Good four-seamer. He's had elite command and control. 35 ball to the 5 walk. 68 first strike. 86 zone contact. I don't know. I think my guy's maybe been a little bit unlucky. The homer fly ball rate has been whack, though the misses have been punished. Since I was already talking shit, we're going to take a quick detour to pop the hood on Zebby. Let's get over to StatCast really quick. I've always liked Zebby, by the way. You know, I like guys with the big arm talent. Now, he wasn't a highly touted prospect, right? He's like a fucking 8th round guy or whatever. But, right, checking the box of the things that give me the fucking, you know, to hang out with the wang out, stick out with the dick out, rock out with the fucking cock out. Where you're going to have multiple stops with 50 inning samples through the minors. He had a 23 inning run in 2024, 33% K without a walk. 55 inning run in AA, 30% K, 2% walk. 19 inning run in AAA, 28% K, 1% walk. He had a 97 inning run through the minors of a 30.5 K with a sub 2% walk. This guy has fucking arm talent. There's legit arm talent here. We just gotta kind of figure it out. Minnesota's been okay at that. Not great, good but not great. Maybe hopefully he hangs out with Joey Ryan a little bit. I mean, really good secondaries and multiples. So Zebby's got a really filthy slider, 386 X slug, 41 whiff. That's a money pitch. Then he's got a curveball. That's pretty fucking nasty. 146 XBA, 282 expected slug, and a 35% whiff. The big thing about both of those, he can throw them to either-handed hitters. They're especially effective against lefties. Like, I think I would be adding Zebby in fantasy. I'd be making trade offers for him in Dynasty and shit. And I think we want to be betting on him F5. We just bet on him F5, and they cashed the bitch. Not to mention, the Twins are fucking killing the ball right now. They haven't hit lefties, but that offense is fucking hot to trot. Tell me not. Best offense, L7, right behind the fucking Cubbies. I mean, they're doing everything right now. You're just kind of striking while the iron is hot. And again, this one I just, you know, I think rather than like be confused, I think what you do is you bet these things, right? You go out and you bet the Twins, F5, right, to get in and out. You get him plus 125 to jump on fucking Eric Lauer. Hopefully you could scratch across a fucking run and go about your business. Dodgers offense is good. Of course they're good, but everybody loses games. The Yankees lost yesterday, and they lose all shit happens all the fucking time. And I think right, that's part of becoming a good MLB bettor is just being like, nah, fuck that. Seriously, not looking at the board and going, nah, fuck that, bet this, nah, fuck that. Is seeing the work, right? Seeing the math, seeing the argument, doing the analysis, and there's something about us that tells us, ooh, but I don't want to challenge the Dodgers. Yo, fuck the Dodgers, fuck the Yankees. What the fuck is a Yankee? What the fuck is a Yankee? You're the best fucking season. Best fucking season of losing 60 fucking games. So, like, and this is, again, I'm not lecturing you. These are mistakes. The default to the favorite is the thing that I've got to get out of my head. I used to do the opposite. When I first started, I was very successful as an underdog bettor. I started getting into favorites when things got bad for me. That was the thing. I hit a natural lull and started thinking, oh my God. Thinking like, one, I was trying to protect my ego, thinking, if I bet favorites, at least people can't get mad at me. Like, oh, I bet on the Yankees. They're a good team, you know. Where I would feel like, because this happens when you bet underdogs, you bet on the Rockies, they get fucking destroyed. People are like, yeah, you bet the fucking Rockies? You're like, yes, it was plus 185. Like, that's how you're supposed to feel about a fucking team that's plus 185. Anyway, let's try and blitz the rest of this. I'm sorry, I'm keeping everybody so long today, but I don't know, fucking chatty. I missed you after taking off yesterday, I guess. Gavin Williams on the bump for the Guards. They're on the road with the wind blowing out in Chicago to face the White Sox and Anthony Kay. How the fuck is Anthony Kay minus 105 to Gavin Williams minus 114? This is an atrocity. This is an offensive-based bet, and I get it. How good is the White Sox offense been? I feel like they're ticking down a little bit. White Sox are ticking down a little bit. Again, this is funny. This is like the natural pendulum swing of the public. They were slow to get on the White Sox because we thought they'd be ass. Well, we didn't. Everyone did. The royal we. And then they start hitting good, so the public jumps on, not realizing that there are fucking natural waves. And right now, the White Sox offense is like nothing to be fucking clamoring about. Nothing to be like, all right, we're going to make them a favorite in a totally lopsided situation. White Sox last 7, it's 215 plate appearances. They have 0 steals. You hate that. 195 batting average, 627 OPS, 26K to just 5 walk, 45 ground ball, 70 WRC plus. Now, I know you'd be saying the Guardians are not much better. Again, yeah, I get that. The lefty stuff is a little bit better. And no, they have fucking Gavin Williams opposed to Anthony K. So I'm not buying that. You got to give me. And I mean, don't we have the bullpen also? Quick check on the pens on this one. Yeah, Guardians have the better pen. They've let us down already this season, but Gavin Williams can go 6-7. We want to hit Anthony K if he gets into the 6th. So, yeah, we want Cleveland to win. Minus 115 to get on our boy Gavin feels like a little bit of a fucking misprice here. Sorry, my emails are fucking blowing up. Comments going off and shit. Cleveland with the win. At like what I'm seeing as a very fair price. Next up, Merrill Kelly on the bump for the Snakes with shapes in the back. They're on the road in St. Louis to face Andre Palante. And the Redbirds, minus 144. Man, Palante doing like the reclamation thing. 376 ERA and a 1-2 whip for Palante, who, we've attacked in the past. But again, the indicators used to be terrible because the command and control was not as good. Now he's more of your prototypical, who are we talking about? Waka? Now, Palante's not old like Waka, but it's that kind of portfolio where, it's not good put away stuff. He's got decent velo. 95's not bad. But it's elite command and control, right? Plus he gets ahead, and he keeps the ball down. Elite ground ball shit. 53 ground ball from Palante. Something is broken on my formatting. Hold on, people. What the fuck is that shit? Hold on, I'm going to fix it right now. I have OCD. When I see something wrong like that, I just got to get it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, you move so much data. Google Sheets is fucking weird sometimes. I was like, why isn't... Also, by the way, if you ever notice formatting or fuck up mistakes like that, you hit me up, I'll fix it immediately. That's usually what it is, some importing mistake. I was wondering why Palante's 53 ground ball wouldn't be bright red. Of course it should be. So his elevation profile is one of the best in the bigs, plus he's really good at controlling hard contact. Now, we don't necessarily believe in hard contact control. That's not really a thing. I know that's like a novice thing. However, the same way we were talking about Waka being able to influence, right, the ball up in the zone because of elite command. Now that Palante is a much better strike thrower, he's been much better at hammering lower third, lower quartile, right, lower fifth even, where you don't have much of a choice. You could take strike 1, take strike 2, and then hit a weak ground ball on the third pitch. Or you could swing at the power sinker pitch 1 and give him the weak ground ball on the first pitch and let him go fucking 7. So, right, that's how that kind of yuck profile succeeds. And Merrill Kelly's just ass. I should be more kind and give more grace. I think he's hurt, right? It's easier for me to sneak out of this one. There's just nothing here. It's a 4.5 KBB, 24 CSW. He's been absolutely fucking disgracefully bad. The last 30 days, 6 ERA, 6.25 expected, 4 KBB. He's fucking terrible. So, like, you think St. Louis is going to win. The St. Louis bullpen's been a real disappointment lately. 5.75 ERA last 41 innings, 49 hard hit, 11 barrel, and 2 home run, which is kind of fucking gross. Palante, I don't know if Palante was ever a cover guy. This feels like a pair. Like, I'll probably make this an ugly pairing. Like St. Louis and some other fucking shitbag. I'm tempted to grab the C.O. Jones and go run line to jump on Kelly. I think I'm going to do that. Sorry, I got share requests going on right now. Give me a second. I got to get off air to hold that one, Joe. Give me a second, brother, man. So, hold on. St. Louis, the cover, I saw a plus 140. St. Louis would also be a pop for the team total, right? They don't get like a ton of respect. So that would be another way to skin that cat without scratching its asshole. It's 4.5 minus 110. I don't know. I'm torn. Shit. Joey, I see you, brother. Hold on. You got to give me a couple minutes. All right, so let's hurry the fuck up here. Yeah, I think the Cardinals win. I'm tempted to go with the cover, and I'm deciding on the team total. We'll get to that later on. Next up, Jake Bennett on the bump for the Bo Sox. They're on the road with the wind blowing out, and it's going to be hot in Colorado against Ryan Feltner, damn Neil Kilner. So, like, whatever. I don't know. I'm just surprised to see Boston minus 125. I don't normally. Now it's minus 130. Again, I don't normally bet Colorado sides. But I think Bennett is the significantly better pitcher in this one. I mean, Felder is like borderline out of the league. And Bennett, I think, is due from some positive regression. The issue has got to be, the Rockies have hit, and they're definitely hitting at home. And the Red Sox offense is kind of ass. Man, this last 2-week run for them, again, just as they were hitting, we were getting excited. Duran hit fucking 2 or 3 bombs in a couple-day span, hoping the rising tide would lift all fucking ships. And yeah, see how that fucking turned out. Almost 400 plate appearances for the Red Sox against righties, batting 226 with a 283 OBP. My gosh, man. 6.3 KBB. I mean, bottom 6 swing and strike, bottom 6 chase rate, bottom 5 hard hit, bottom 3 barrel rate. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Maybe I got to take that back. I don't know. Fuck you. I don't know. What the fucking total is 12. It actually dropped to 11 and a half, which should make you want to bet it a little bit more. But like, what the fuck, man? Just don't waste your time. Again, I say this. I probably said this the last like 3 or 4 times, and it hasn't hit once. I'm very fucking honest. That doesn't mean it can't. This feels like a Prize Picks drafters, underdog pick'em lobby type of thing, where you're pairing 2 of your fucking favorites or whatever. Here, hold on. Let me see if I could find a. Shit! I said I wasn't gonna waste a lot of time, but I find if I don't fucking say it, I forget it. Come on, you son of a bitch. And the reason I like drafters is, unlike Prize Picks and Underdog, they don't have a juice. Everything is like a flat. It's like a flat multiplier. All right, fuck this. I'll have to do it another time. Take my word for it. So yeah, you could pair 2 Red Sox with 2 Rockies and get a 10 pop. So the thinking is always, if you need 12 runs to score, you can have sick combinations of 2 hit-run ribbies going on. 2 hit-run ribbies get the fucking 13 runs. Like, that's crazy. And again, Colorado could always spin out with the fucking heat and the wind. So I'd rather play for like a jackpot run out than like, I bet over 11 and a half and they scored 19 runs and you get the same half unit or whatever the fuck you bet, which to me doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't, you're not capitalizing on the stupidity that's going on there. Next up, Kyle Horse Bradish on the bump for the B. Moore Orioles. They're on the road as very heavy dogs against Sam Aldeguerri, Paisan, and the fucking Halos. Plus 135 for the home squad. I mean, Angels bring back Grissom, but lose fucking Trout. This kid Walton is fucking crushing. And Denzer Guzman, I'm sorry, is the name. Who's crushing. It's like maybe there's something there. And like Wade Meckler has been okay. I don't know. You kind of feel like you're scraping the bottom of the barrel a little bit. All right, if I hurry up, we're going to get out of here in the fucking hour mark. So I tend to buy into Bradish because I think the arm talent is still there. I know the peripherals and stuff have been fucking pretty gross, but we do like the elevation basket. He hasn't really given up home runs. Right, it's been really like a road split thing. And even the last 30, which hasn't been pristine, is starting to shine a little bit. Bottom line is, he's Kyle Bradish, kind of deserving of the StatCast hood pop. And he's getting it. He's getting it. If I got to lose some YouTube analytics going over an hour to provide the very best fucking show and content, then fucking so be it. That's what matters to me. All right, let's see this motherfucker Bradish. What's he doing, man? All right, a little bit of a new pitch mix. Right, throttling the 4-seamer for more curves. We like that. It's still sinker first, which I'm not crazy about, but it's a power sinker. See, he's lost a lot of whiffs on that pitch, and that's always a fucking issue. A little bit more sink on it. That could be a bit of a reason. There was never a ton of arm side. Oh, there is a lot of arm side runs. So you know what? I'm sorry. Scratch that, reverse it. That's usually the carrying tool for whiffs on something like that. How about the fucking secondaries? Okay, so we believe in Kyle Bradish. He's been getting crushed on the slider, but none of it is like real. It's a 227 XBA, but the output's been 269. Sub 400 Xlug, the output's been nearly 600. So like that pitch, when that reverts to normal on the contact, it already has the 34 whiff, plus he's got 43 whiff on the curveball, throws it to both handed hitters. I think we're back in on Kyle Bradish to be good. Aldegari, I don't like. I never did. Any success, I'm always expecting negative regression. It's all been pretty gross. Sub 5 KBB, last 30. I guess he's been good for the little bit at home, but I'm not buying this shit. Baltimore offense, to me, this is funny. I was like sitting there scratching my fucking head all morning. Yeah, exactly. Like trying to figure out. Every time I look up, I feel like the Orioles are going nuts. But you look at the spreadsheet and you're like, this is kind of meh. I mean, the L7 for the Baltimore Orioles is fucking gross. And I'm feeling like I guess it's, you know, if you're going to try and glean the lesson here, it's biases, narratives are a thing, right? And recency bias and confirmation bias and just anecdotal bias and shit are real, because in my mind, well, I mean, again, maybe it's this. They've hit as many home runs as anybody the last 2 weeks. But other than that, it's not been great. We love the lack of chase. We love the pulled hard-hit fly balls. Like, I'm buying this. We love the talent. But the L7 shit's been gross. No denying it. Also, the Angels bullpen's been pitching a little bit better as of late. I just don't buy it in general because I don't think the talent is there. They're also on the report. Bachman 2 of 3, Silsa 2 of 3, Yates 2 of 3, Natera 2 of 3. That's all of their best arms. They're fucked. So you got to like Baltimore to cover or Baltimore to get the team total. If those numbers are comparable, I think I'd rather take the team total. 4.5 runs, minus 130, or even money for the cover. I'm going to go with the even money cover. We get the 9 frames to get all the at-bats. Again, I think he could go out and shove. LA has had disciplinary issues this season. All right, next, last but not least, Grant Holmes in the bump for the Bravos, minus 112 on the road against Michael King, El Rey, and the Friar Tucks. This one felt like a little bit of a misprice here. I think King is the better pitcher. I think the offense probably goes to Atlanta, though without Acuna, they were a little bit hobbled. Nice to get Harris back, but I don't know. I mean, I feel like I've liked the San Diego offense a little bit lately, and that's been fucking ass on the spreadsheet also. I gotta stop watching. This is what happens when you watch baseball games. This is what happens. I watched Manny Machado hit a home run, and you can't help but be like, yo, Machado's back. You know, it's just what it is. He hit a big home run with a fucking laser. Line drive, pulled line drive, fucking, classic fucking Manny. And he was smiling the whole way around the bags, you know, but that means shit. That don't mean any, literally worthless information. Yeah, I don't know. Braves have been a little bit better than I thought. Oh, I'm sorry. That's lefty shit. My bad. Braves have been horrendous versus righties. Maybe the worst right-handing hitting team in the league. Like, do you really even believe in Holmes? That was the part I'm not sure either. Holmes has had poor control. He's not ahead. You know, he gets swing and miss. He's got a little bit of stank to him. But to me, he's wild. And the misses get punished. I'm betting San Diego to win. Again, I love the bullpen. I think King could get you distance. This feels like a really fair price for a Braves offense that just like is not that. Well, we're going to make it out of here in the hour. Appreciate everybody up in the comments. Appreciate you all, man. Jay Bird, good to see you, man. USMC digging the Rockies here. Yo, again, if they're going to do it, could be it. Okay, you got some weirdness. Hold on one second. Let me just see real quick. Let me quantify. Again, you know, a lot of importing and exporting. I mean, it looks normal to me. Could you tell me what do you mean, you damn thief? I mean, I'm not sure what you mean. The number, sometimes, again, this can happen. You get numbers that can't be. Those numbers are possible. I will double check. I'll rescreen them. All right, appreciate everybody for listening to the show. Please, press the like button. We're on our way to 1,000 subs. Even if you listen to the audio pod, head over to YouTube and press the fucking like button, man. If you don't support monetarily, I get it. If you can, find it in your heart. Support good people doing good work. Don't be a cheap bitch your whole life. You know, help me keep the lights on, and I pour it right back into the company. And, you know, there's football stuff as well. And, yeah, I appreciate you all. You fucking Spartans are the best. Enjoy the games. Enjoy the day. When we're done with the book, enjoy the pay. Remember, when you work this hard, winning feels a lot less like